series of rescue at Raxis. Last time, the party realized they're in someone's playground. Well, I mean, they knew that beforehand, but now he's really been toying with them. And it's not easy to get out of. It's not a simple little walk into the darkness. In fact, it could separate a party. He's also shown off a few more tricks. And importantly, the party set fire to someone's fucking house and nearly left him to die.
Nearly.
Nearly.
This on nearly.
And when we left
That
off...
makes it so much better.
And when we left off, they had just hauled this poor man who was hiding in fear of his life out of his horrible little shit shack. The flames are still spreading. Well, they've been calmed down, but they have just consumed whatever his abode was. And he is currently unconscious in their arms. Looking a bit pale. Looking paler than really should be, with some prominent tusks on the lower jaw.
Oh my god, he's a reverse vampire.
Just,
Oh no, a reverse vampire blows blood at you.
Oh god.
oh god. That's actually frightening.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Don't worry, it's going to be homebrewed later. I have found some amazing concepts I'm building up.
Oh
There's
no.
blood in your eye. That's what it does.
Oh no, more of in the eye. Anyway, you currently have a gentleman who seems to be a half-orc, and slightly burnt along his left side. Unconscious. He's doesn't look like he's going to die any moment now. Luckily. The alley is still lit by your flames, although weakly, and there's still a few corpses of the meanlocks around you guys. But you know, the crackling of the fire gives a nice ambience. It's kind of cozy. It's like a campfire. It's just you made the fire out of someone's only shelter.
Alright, well... is there any of the houses that are kind of still intact around us?
Yeah, a few of them are burnt up on the outside, but it seems like they're still sort of intact, although it wouldn't be hard for you guys or Vioni to get inside the buildings now.
Mm-hmm.
You figure a bit of a bodily charge, even Cornelius with his skinny, well-refined limbs could probably push through. But, you know, the roof's still up.
Alright, maybe we should walk away from this disaster area and try and find somewhere we can find shelter for a little bit. Recuperate.
Agreed.
Is anyone gonna carry him, or should I make a desk to put him on? Actually, it'd probably just be better to put a desk so everyone has their hand free.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm only like a couple feet off the ground, so you know.
I mean, he's not hard to carry. He is a poor person. He weighs less than those who can afford to feed.
It'll also take me like 10 minutes. I don't really want to wait around here for 10 minutes.
I vote we get him carried.
There is still the sound of skittering and scratching in the sewer grate nearby, where the meanlocks ran away.
Let's get out of here before they decide to get back, so they don't start eating him.
For us.
I'm bellowing through the night sky, well, through the darkness. Lock the door, blow out the light, the hungry Oni haunts the night. Hide and tremble, little one, the Oni wants to have some fun. Hear it scratching on the door, see its shadow cross the floor. The sun won't rise for quite a while, till then beware the Oni smile.
That was bad. You should feel
I know,
bad,
it was
Mr. Oni.
I know, it was so passe. I've heard better at the local theater.
Sounded like it was coming from this
Amateur
direction.
theater.
Also, that's actually from the
Yep.
monster manual.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, but that's just Cornelius said, so he heard better at the theater.
Yep.
So cliche.
No, right? Not even a bit of creativity.
So, you guys have control on what you're doing, where you're going.
I was gonna say, who's picking up the guy?
Not I, said the dwarf.
I
But
look
I
to the
s-
dwarf with a very high positive strength score.
He looks back and has to take a bit of time to get his eyes lined up, I'm sure.
Zazul will pick him up.
Zarzul, no, that's not happening. Just the logistics alone.
I'll pick him up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on your feet.
Also,
in my
Pio,
hand, I don't...
it's just done that horrible thing where the quality of your voice has changed, so could you dip in and out of the call? Is she back yet?
I don't know. Anyway, what direction am I gonna go to find some shelter?
Well, it's been a while, so I'll remind you guys. You have generally come from this direction here.
Yeah, I know.
I'll just remind you
The
guys. It's been a few...
shelter me and Zarzul have found has been occupied by the Oni.
Yes,
So
they found a baited
if you
trap.
found a better place, I would suggest that there.
And at least this way you know that there was a crossbow trap here, but it was sprung by Zarzul.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, obvious reason there's we don't want to go back the other way. That's all I can say.
Let's check for more traps before we go this way too far.
Alright.
It's an investigation check for traps.
Ah.
And you gotta check if it's, is it floor, is it walls? Give me an idea of what you're going for here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at. What kind of traps was it that you're suspecting is around here?
Probably still has the bolt sticking out of his neck.
Tripwire that fired arrows, so I think it was what it was. So looking for other things along the ground or nearby.
Yeah.
Just something like that.
And you do get the feeling maybe not go near the walls, just to avoid anything hidden in them. But from your cursory glance around, it seems like there is no traps. And it's, easier to spot them now that things are for some reason lit up mysteriously. That guy's house fell down. Who knows how that happened?
It will forever be a mystery.
And
world
that only has a lot to answer for. My lawyer says so. Right, well, let's move on then.
I pick up my torch and come along.
Yeah.
Actually, why am I going forward?
To be fair, you can't have a dwarf go forward. He's carrying an injured man.
Yeah, I got... I guess I'll just assume I'm carrying him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not staying bundled up with y'all.
Yeah, don't worry. He's on you.
Yep, that's perfect.
You just have him slung over the shoulders. You don't even notice the weight.
Yeah, kind of keep him in the middle.
I mean, what's another 50 pounds, right?
He's a bit more than that, but yeah.
You can sling him like a weapon.
Probably a 120.
As you get through, you see a few more buildings, strangely scarred by fire, but they seem sturdy enough. The doors are boarded up from the
Fire
outside.
here? No.
Fire bad.
Any decent looking houses here?
You realize you're in the poor district, right?
Yeah, but
Decent for the surrounding.
I mean,
Not currently on fire or about to break down.
they don't look as if they've
Well-
been that far gone. They were on fire for a bit. Just a bit.
Well, most of them are not on fire.
Yeah. They look like they were houses. That's the best you can tell. And as you round the corner and get a bit more sight, you see someone familiar standing outside the building to the south.
Oh, hell.
You can see that he's kneeling there, and he's holding up in front of one of the boarded up windows an arm covered in armor and giving it a little shake. He hears you guys clattering along, looks over, and just brings a single one of his fingers up to his mouth. I'm a bit busy right now, shh. And then knocks the severed arm against the window. Come on, shiny boy, you know you want it back. Look, I've been doing all kinds of things. Look, if I pull these bits, I can make a fist. And if I pull these bits, look, it's the same gesture you made before I tore it off.
Alright, could you people move away a little bit? I'm gonna need a clear sideline here.
Oh, now I'll be careful. You don't want this to go up in smoke. As he rattles the severed arm, which looks pretty damn big. Like humanoid size, but buff. I mean, I was just playing with me other toys. I don't have time for you, all of it. Do you like my little poem?
I actually found it bland.
Oh, well, I didn't write it myself. It's what they used to sing to little kids to stop me showing up. Didn't fucking work. Found it a bit catchy, though. You gonna do one of your little tricks on me, then? Because I can do one back.
Yeah, I've seen it. Not impressed. I've seen better.
That's a bit more convincing from a man who's not bleeding. Or roughed up and clawed. How'd you like my little meanies? Nice little fuckers, aren't they?
Yes. I'm a lot braver than you are.
Oh, well, I didn't want to hog you all to myself. And besides, as I'm pointing out here and he raps on the window again, I do have a few other toys I like to play with. Keep reminded of what they're fighting for. It's good for morale. Anything in response?
Well, I'm kind of worried that he has this spell or counter spells. I don't want to just fucking throw anything.
If you throw something smaller, then if he counterspells it, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, bait out the counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
Counter spell also works for cantrips, right?
Yep.
Okay. I fire off a ray of frost.
Alright, let's see the roll.
Oh, actually, no. I'm gonna go to a frostbite instead.
That's a con save.
Yep.
Are you in range of that? I think so, yeah.
And he's also, regardless if you can save or not, he's still gonna take half.
Doesn't save. As you just see the light dusting of frost along his shoulders and across his face before he just shakes it through. Ooh. It's not quite as good as mine, but you know, you've probably got potential or some shit like that. So you want to do this, then?
Rather wanted to finish at some point. Don't have all day.
You know what? I do.
Cornelius,
I kind of feel like I'm doing a lot of the dialogues that the dwarf should be doing.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, the dwarf is holding the passed out dude.
Yeah, I've got my own problems.
He gives a little wave of his fingers and vanishes.
Oh, hell, again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that yet, but I'm over here.
You do notice some of the air disturbing around him. And then, let's see, gotta get on the right layer and all. Over here you see some of roof tiles clatter.
I assume he didn't leave the arm behind.
No, he did not.
He's getting quite on my nerves.
Let's go visit whoever he stole the arm from.
Onis are such fun
I-
monsters.
So we just need to look for a one-armed guy.
Hang on, what were you
No,
saying,
I
Pio?
think he's in here.
I think I know who it is, but that's OOC information.
Okay.
Well, I'm.
I mean, I think you guys updated each other on what you've learned here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you'd have a suspicion if you're going to voice it. Now, where is
we
his
have
tomb?
we had discussed the things we've known.
Yep.
It's probably the guy we're looking for. You know. I
Well,
think,
there was,
I think it was
yeah,
like
there was the
Albert.
Dragonborn, and then there was the. And there was the old hunter dude.
Yeah.
Albert, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it's Albert.
Yeah. Zorzul, you're the one who spots it easily. You know the answer. It is the Dragonborn. You see a very tall, very broad, plate-armored figure who had a cloak, but it seemed to be bundled up around his left arm, while the right holds a big fucking maul. Although it doesn't look... It looks kind of sickly in a way, as in... It looks like it should be sort of clean metal and all, but is covered in chunks of hardened, dark rock. And he's staring back at you. Narrowed eyes.
Hello, friend.
Oh, no, you're not him. Door, quick.
Come on, friends. Let's get inside.
He is also, as you get inside and some light casts on him, brass colored, although I am colorblind, so ignore the token. It's just one I grabbed earlier.
It looks fairly coppery.
Yeah.
Should do, that's one of my old Malico tokens.
I figured.
Door.
Yeah, it's just a very cramped little room.
I closed the door.
Well, hello there. Seems like we ended up in quite the situation, haven't we?
Hmm. At least you have your friends with you.
Sure.
Pardon me.
He just looks around at the quite tense air.
Does it look like he needs some healing for that arm? Or is it not that fresh?
Yeah, it's not dripping or anything. You can see a couple of symbols around his neck as well. One particularly of Lathander. Another of Bahamut. Well, I'm Kazgrat.
Hang on, I'm gonna. How do you spell that?
Kazgrat.
Cas.
Kazgrat.
Castrat. Okay.
And for whatever posterity it is, I'm part of the Order of the Burnished Scale. And I had companions when I arrived here.
I'm going to guess it did not go well. My
5 of them.
condolences.
And I've been here 6 days. No. None of them are alive now. So,
They,
noble purpose or just looking for coin?
We were intending on fixing the issue.
Indeed.
Column A and B.
mostly column A though.
He just
Yeah.
he just looks over you lot, all those red dots. And you've only arrived today.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Got a few good knocks on him though, I gotta admit.
Only problem is he fixes himself back up
Exactly.
and he runs away.
And he takes it a bit personal if you chase him. Well, who's the most injured right now?
Well, there's a wizard in the group.
I'd like to point out I have 9 out of 68.
Nice. No.
Alright, come here.
Yeah, 12 out of 45.
He puts
29 out of
Okay.
62.
I got 2 lots of 15. I'm fine.
he puts
Hold
down
on.
he puts down the maul, and you see him at first sort of he's grabbing at the holy symbol of Bahamut and fiddling with it a bit because he doesn't have quite as many. And he's trying to hold, pin it with his thumb and finger, and then reach out and touch the rest of you while still around his neck on the chain. It's a bit awkward these days. And you get Cornelius, Rain, Zarzul. You get 10 HP each.
Oh, thank
Castalia, you get 5.
Yay. Yeah, I'll take it. It's above bloodied.
Yeah, as he
So
walks
that
around
was
you.
He's got to busy himself in the corner. He's going to take the nasty mushrooms he's picked up, grind them up, and try and coat his bolts with them.
Okay. Just give me for fun, a nature roll.
Fuck.
Turns out these are just shiitake mushrooms.
So while we're at it,
Well, more importantly, as he was doing it, he avoided inhaling or sneezing.
we're getting 6 to myself, Cornelius, Bufflesworth, Wolfgang, Zarzul. So he doesn't look that injured.
He doesn't look injured apart from the missing arm, no.
Okay, and then probably is Melgurn injured?
I don't think so.
Pull up, because I need to find out if you're getting 6 HP or not.
Yeah, but I had a mistake.
And Malgurn.
Oh yeah, I'm a little hurt.
You're a little everything. You're a dwarf.
Still not looking too great, but
What's he used on you so far?
He's used the disguise trick, flying, turning invisible seems to be one of his favorites, and his blast of cold energy.
He also used charm at one point.
Hmm.
Oh yes.
And unfortunately, in going invisible, disguising, flying, that's just inherent to the creature he is. He'll be able to do that all day and night. I've been sitting on that for a while now. I was so happy when Counterspell got used on something he can do at will.
I don't suppose you have any idea how best to deal with this creature, or at least dealing with this kind of domain he's created.
Not successfully, no. I've tried putting him down in several fights, but he's always able to get away from me. And if I push too hard, well, then he just came back and took advantage. And now it's a lot harder to push him down in a fight. Bastard even stole anything I could use with one hand. I'm stuck with my maul. Used to be bursting with volcanic potency, and just here it's nothing but a lump of slag.
Yeah, we've encountered a similar problem.
Evidently. As he glances at Rain and Castalia.
So we need to somehow get him in a situation where he cannot make advantage of it to escape.
Hmm.
Best chance will be indoors.
Yeah, but unfortunately these walls don't mean a whole lot to him, as we've seen. Is there any way here that has significantly thicker walls, like a church of some kind?
None of the temples are in this part, but there are a few stone buildings. This one, for example, but say the walls are a bit thin. Probably more to the. He just gestures that away. I think that old man is Albert is in one of those buildings. I've seen him at least come from that direction a few times. That's some of the older ones. Proper stone on them. And I'm still standing here as the only person with a name out.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Cornelia sent.
I'm Rain, and I point at Pufflesworth. That's Pufflesworth.
Gastalia.
Zazu.
I don't know about him, pointing to the guy on my back, but I'm Melgern.
And I point at Wolfgang because I noticed he's been neglected. That's Wolfgang as well.
Oh, you've got Orbinson. Why is he burnt?
Unfortunately, we had an incident, and things may or may not have caught fire, and we had to fix it.
Didn't know he only knew anything of fire.
He doesn't.
Does he just fucking look at Cornelius when she said that? And took a step
They
away?
all slowly turn to Rain and just.
Yeah,
Right,
Cornelius
Beth,
is
here's
not
Cornelius.
admitting. Yeah, Cornelius isn't admitting anything, but he's definitely making a face.
Even Wolfgang and Pufflesworth looking at her like, what the fuck, man? We gotta be in this together.
Well, it's better to admit that he doesn't know fire.
She's used to selling people out while getting immunity.
Oh, yes, she is.
Hold on, I got it.
Yes?
It's in tabletop.
Oh.
Ah, yes. For reference, it's the Family Guy bit where Stewie's head just turns a full 90 fucking degrees.
Oh yeah, it's a great part where it just keeps turning.
Well, it's better to be honest than to be fibbing. It's pretty understandable.
Well, I'll help you put him down if I can.
Thank you.
But looking at you lot, you seem pretty worn.
We've been worse.
We could use a break, but I'm afraid if the Oris just want to come back right in here, we're making you a target.
He just likes to wait outside with my arm. He hasn't come in because he knows I can't fight him properly. It's more playful this way. You see him just spit up a goblet onto the floor, slightly burning into the wood. But let's ignore my disgrace and focus on what we can actually do about this.
By the way, do you need anything to eat? You had anything to eat recently? Anything to drink?
For now, I'm fine. Although he did take everything that was... He likes to take trophies. But no, I'm fine for now.
Alright,
Well-
so as far as we can tell, we're gonna need to find a way to trap him somewhere so that he can't escape. If we covered him in a powder, when he turned invisible, we'd still be able to see him, correct?
Hmm.
Thought we already discussed that. Wasn't there a reason we can't?
No, we just don't have any.
Yeah, he didn't bring any.
Oh,
okay. So
Actually, we might have access to some powder now. Ashes is a pretty good powder.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ash is very, very good. And also, I'm not 100% sure that somebody around here wouldn't have some flour for baking.
Well, I imagine whatever is that the food has probably been eaten by now.
Yeah. And rotted and been taken away by those little creatures with the pincers.
I have a spice pouch.
No, you don't. You have a pouch. It's a magical
No,
item.
Oh, right. Magical pouch.
Yep.
Nothing.
It says you reach inside and you find a pinch worth of whatever you need. Just like Cornelius's pouches, there's nothing there but cloth.
Yes, thankfully it did not explode with things inside.
Who knows what happens when you get out, though?
Because then the Oni would be the least of our issues.
Well, we're
No,
still actually wrapped up in something, so unless it explodes badly,
Yes, continue. Unless some completely unexpected scenario occurs. D&D is a very predictable game format. I love the fact I've got this fucking axe hanging over him this whole time. At any time, you guys could have just ended the game. It would have been great. That's why I stressed, very importantly, you are not ready to fight this thing if you just go as a party. Think about it.
It's also where, after having been in the boar side a few weeks ago, I'm very glad it's not Cordell holding this.
He'd be wearing it.
Yes. He'd be wearing it as a scar.
Oh yeah, I
And
forgot.
then be surprised that when he get murdered by a fucking dragon.
Oh. Yes.
Anyway.
Back to the task at hand. Also, he's standing about 6'9". He is taking up a lot of space in this little cramped place. He's having to hunch over. And you can see just a lot of marks where Vioni has been wrecking his armor.
Well, if you can look after the poor guy we pulled out of the hut, I guess we'll continue on until people wish to catch the breaths.
Well,
In a short
at the
rest.
moment, yeah, we should probably try to take a bit of a break. And then at the same time, we have to figure out where would be a good place to get him stuck.
does anyone else want to try and apply this possibly poisonous material to their weapon?
How many of those mushrooms did you have? Do you remember? Did we just stick it to a vague handful because it was just drugs for you?
Yeah, that's how we started.
I'll say you've got about 5 bolts worth, and you can get a couple more things like a dagger or something. You wouldn't be able to coat, say, a long sword.
Okay, one dagger and 5 bolts, I guess.
Well, no, you'd be able to get a little bit more, but think small amounts. Like if you wanted to
coat my
coat a longsword
longsword.
in it, it would take coating the sword. If you want to do a dagger, it's a lot simpler. A short sword, it's a bolt head, easy. Or arrowheads. You got a few of those.
And I have no idea whether this is going to work or not.
Yeah.
We may accidentally stick this guy with a huge amount of hallucinogen.
That would be kind of hilarious, and that actually might work out in the end.
I don't know. Wouldn't he then just start throwing that cold magic everywhere?
Yeah, and that could.
Yeah, but he might
Work.
not be able to aim it.
True.
He might use up his ability to make more of it.
I mean, out of character for a second, it'd be fucking hilarious.
He might just really fly really, really high.
I'm
Like,
also-
I mean, real high.
That could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
He could totally see the sky.
You don't want the Oni to feel the love in the room.
Well, is there enough for my mace? Because I think I might bite for it.
For the mace, but nothing else after. So you can get your bonking stick.
Guess that could work.
Oh, by the way, you wouldn't happen to know if the Oni has any way to deal with the magic being cast at it other than its invisibility, do you?
He's stopped nothing but I've put out. Although I'm not as arcane as you are. I don't believe so.
Oh, well. Worth asking.
It is.
But yeah, we're taking a rest here, or are we moving on, trying to see if we can find Albert before trying to take a rest, so we don't become a bigger target for this guy.
I would suggest waiting here for a rest. Just because I doubt, even if he does attack here, he's not defenseless. And at least we're all here. Because it could also be that if the Oni decides that there's too much pressure going on, he might try to snipe off the people who he knows is alone.
True. Are people in agreement, or
Sure.
I see nothing wrong with the plan.
If we wait here, though, we might want to have somebody on guard.
I can do that.
yeah, I mean, we're not going to sleep as such. We're just taking a short break, so we're all
Yeah, it's just putting the feet up for an hour.
yeah.
Rolling some hit dice.
Recovering a few spells.
Plus Razgrat. He looks pretty well rested. Although tense as hell.
Alright, let's see. Let's spell slot back.
To be fair, I don't think anybody is particularly well rested at this point.
And I...
To be fair, you guys have only been here for a day.
Can you remember how much it is that I'm recovering on a short rest?
With your... For arcane recovery, I don't know. I think it's like half your level. Rounded down. Let's take a look here.
Well, that would be
Stop at
like
3.
4.
Let me double check though.
Just get all the bad rolls.
Arcane recovery, yeah. Combined level that is... The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level. And none of the slots can be sick for higher, so no issue here. So as a 4th level, you can recover up to 2 levels worth of spells. You recover either a 2nd level spell slot or 2 first level, so you've got a bit of play being an 8th level. Or 7th. I can't remember what you guys are now.
8.
You guys might want to adjust your hit dice thing.
Yeah, you're all
Yeah.
rolling 4s.
Yeah, I
What?
know. I noticed on mine it's said like D4 by the hit dice, and I'm like, that ain't right.
Yeah, for some reason Roll20 had an update and it made it so you have to manually put in your hit dice, even though it used to do it automatically. I don't know why.
What?
Also,
Okay,
importantly,
yeah.
Rain, keep in mind, you have you and Zarzul have 2 different type of hit dices. So keep that in mind whenever you're rolling for recovery. You do have 2 d6s and then 6 d8s.
Yeah.
Where Zarzul has mostly like an even split, I think, of D10s and D8s.
Biscuit and rice. That's a lot of. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna change it for the future.
That's fine. I'll accept that. And you get back all the rest of what you got on a short rest.
No, hang on. Just I also got just my fitness and
That's
Now I need to remember, did I give him any
Hooray.
spells?
So I gain 1 spell slot back. Okay.
Who's that still rolling D bloody 4s?
Did you put the number in?
Well, this is meant to be D10s.
Oh. If you where it says hit die, you see that weird D in the parentheses?
it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's a button, but it is a button.
Ah,
Very odd.
stupid thing.
Oh, I can change that?
Yes, you can.
Got to remember to fiddle
Oh,
that.
okay, see, I didn't know that.
Got to check
I
Simon's
just
sheet
rolled
and fix
manually. Okay, cool.
that. Hopefully it
I
didn't
thought I
affect
had to roll
Older.
manually because I didn't know to change that.
New Vera Castalia.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to expand it so that I could read it, but
Yeah,
for
it's
some
alright.
reason-
Expand dong.
Okay.
You're not from Raxis.
No.
Would you be more to the north, a mountain town?
Yes.
I think I remember seeing you before. What is your family's name?
Von Talnya.
Then I have. Although you were just a child. But I walked in your father's house.
Oh. Have you been there as of late?
Not since, no.
Oh.
Strange.
Of course, when you were a gnome back then.
The rest of you?
Not far off from Waterdeep.
The same.
Yes, you two do sound of the coast. Although I did not think it was that warm a climate there.
The magic field made this not look like what it was when it walked in.
I'm
It
sure
was
that's
a
an
very
explanation.
unfortunate. It was a very unfortunate incident.
I imagine it's a powerful enchantment then.
Apparently, because it knocked all of our magical items out.
Yes.
That doesn't seem like it's something that Oni could do on its own, right?
I've heard not, no. One of my previous companions, she did study on monsters like this, and no. Oni are inherently magical, but not magically inclined, if that makes sense. They don't broaden what they know. They just have it. And an
Maybe
effect like
someone-
this, it would need to be some sort of ritual, some sort of grand work.
So he has a friend somewhere, or probably several friends.
May even be unrelated. Or he might know more than he's letting on. They can be bought as minions, as henchmen. They'll easily enter into the service of the cruel and corrupt. But
For him, this is probably great fun.
though, much like bugbears, it's a case of having to let them indulge with very loose reins.
Hopefully that just means that we won't actually have to deal with him and just get this curse lifted.
And at least we're not leaving until it is.
Indeed. So,
I mean, to
mostly
be
mean that
fair,
he
if we
is-
end up
So it will mean he is not a priority. He is going to be an obstacle to our priority.
He sort of has this look that's a little bit... There's a bit of anger there, but it's not quite at you, Cornelius, on saying he's not a priority. Because this Dragonborn is thinking, yeah, he's a priority.
I know that justice is something you want upon this creature.
It's not justice, it is revenge this time. I want this creature dead.
I can see two sides. If we lift this situation, survivors that we have ran into are going to have a better chance of making it out. The longer we take, the more likely it is that they're not going to make it out. But at the same time, if we lift it early, he's likely to just turn invisible and leave.
We will deal with them if we can, but we cannot allow we cannot allow him to jeopardize the safety of those who have survived.
I'm aware. I will say those creatures with the pincers, do not recall their name. They are just creatures of fear and darkness. They are nothing involved in something so grandiose. They are just having fun.
You appear to have also gotten into the sewers. I don't suppose you had any ideas of what else might be down there.
And then you take a look at him and realize, even with the arm missing, that was a small grate. He is not. Like Castalia with her horns, you realize, probably wouldn't even fit her head through the grate, and he is much bigger. They just thrive in dark places. It's where they make their home. Their burrows. Your little one there, Zarzul, he could fit.
Yeah, but he could probably also easily be overrun by these creatures.
Also, it may not actually lead to an exit anymore.
They might have blocked it off at some point to make their burrows.
Possibly. It's not somewhere I can explore myself. And what of your war beast? He could go down with him as he gestures at Pufflesworth.
Oh no, he's a baby.
And
He's not.
and you
not
brought
yet.
him in here.
Well, can't very well leave him anywhere. Just because we know he's a baby doesn't mean he knows he's a baby.
He's very puffed up right now. Covered in
Case
trash.
point.
Cornelius wants to say something about responsibility, but then remembers that he just burned out a whole block with an ill-used fireball and shuts up.
Yeah, there is a there's a quarter cooked half orc in the room
He's fine.
who does slowly wake up while he's there. He's calm, seeing the Dragonborn, seeing a bunch of people, which means the Oni's not alone with him. Hello?
Ah, awake. Nice to get you out in time from your house when it caught on fire.
I remember that, yeah. Didn't know they only did that.
That's the
I
love we
look
don't
like
know
I-
about the
I
Oni.
I look like I want to say something, but I don't.
It's okay. Apparently he doesn't. Oh, and probably one of the little crab things?
I look at Cornelius.
Maybe, who knows?
There's a few words between him and the Dragonborn Kazgrad about him being able to stay here now that he might not have a home. So, welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's
Unfortunately, it's under
journey.
these circumstances.
Worry not. We'll have the Oni gone soon, and everything will return to normal.
Yeah, then they can burn my house down properly. I was waiting for it to happen.
All right.
Why would your house be being burned down?
Well, family tree's not popular right now.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there were a few of us. Most are already outside the city. Not on that side. I mean, on the road.
Yeah, leaving.
Well, yeah, sure. But just didn't seem a good idea to stay around with tempers a bit high.
I can understand that, unfortunately.
I mean, I had nice neighbors. They weren't gonna do it, but I don't have them anymore. It's a hell of a thing to hear each house go silent each day. He looks about, to those of you who've seen a bit of trauma, he looks borderline sort of. He's like 7/10 of a Siegfried right now.
Mm,
The nightmares are probably going to be sticking for a while,
yeah.
but he's not quite in the. But he's not quite ready to find a chemical dependency.
Have you eaten for a while?
Yeah, I had a fair. Well, I had some in the house, so yeah, I'm fed.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna leave this here and leave him like the 2 days rations.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need that, aren't I? Even if this all stops tonight, like you were saying. How
You know,
how
just
long's
in
it been?
case. I have to say, when we arrived in the city, it was already in progress. So
Oh,
over a week at least.
they said it was up a week or two before we arrived in town. So tonight will be a nice time for it to finish, then.
It most certainly
Basil's
will.
gonna start praying in the corner. Hey, any help we can get.
Yeah, Kazgrat walks over, kneels down. He's still like 4 times your height, even kneeled. Looks down at you and nods, and also starts to begin praying.
I go and join the lovely line.
And that's when the Oni sweeps his axe along head height. The perfect time. The eyes are closed. They're completely defenseless.
And it sails above their heads.
Yeah, it only hurts Rain.
That's pretty good.
Gets the
Hey,
Dragonborn right in the
the
chest plate.
Dragonborn-
Her head's gone, and Zarzul
Oh.
didn't even know what happened. Just like the trap.
Wait a second.
Oh,
This
I
is
see you got
new.
my second prayer.
Oh god.
Goodbye, friend.
You'll be a valuable sacrifice if I have it. Well,
If you want, I'll come with you. But I'm not going to be much use outside of a fight. Even then, not much.
well, probably wait until we have a plan. We might be able to lure him out. But then,
I'll still be here.
we'll take care of you two. We'll try and see if we can't figure something out. And thanks for the help.
That's what I do.
Guess
He gives a
we
nod
can
and starts setting about helping Orbison with his injuries. It's been a while since he's had to deal with burns.
Probably a nice change to pace.
Sure.
I mean, if the others are horrific deep flesh wounds.
People's limbs getting torn off.
Yeah. Then a few first and second degree burns are probably a lot better.
Anyway, what are you guys doing now?
Yes, let's try to find Albert.
Thinking about how to make it so that the Oni doesn't turn completely invisible.
Well, what-
Let's go back and get some of the ashes that somebody may have accidentally created.
Agreed.
Well, they mentioned rotting food. If we could find rotten tomatoes, we could throw those at him.
yeah, but we could just go down the street here and find the ashes first. We know where that is.
True, true.
We'll just have you. You guys are free to do that. Just fill a few bags up with ashes.
Alright.
There is a dispersal method that's going to be a bit of an issue, but you know, you can't really take a handful and cover someone so big.
Throw it in his face.
Still a big face.
As long as they...
True, and he couldn't just open his mouth.
Yeah.
I
You
usually just need to follow the sound of coughing as fucking.
No, you just see a black-coated foot-long tongue.
Ugh.
Ah!
That'd be
And then-
hilarious.
And then you just sense that there's like also two fingers that are just going. Ah,
Oh! Too far from it.
But as you're walking back, all right, I'm gonna try a little bit of originality here. Tell me what you think. It's booming out from the south. Grab a tiefling by the horn, eyes of gold and full of scorn. Tell her this won't hurt much, then get to twistin' till the crunch. Hear her sob, curse and whine, you've taken a load off her mind.
Sounds a little forced.
No, it's a little more creative.
Don't encourage him.
Needs work.
Needs more metaphors. It's a little too direct. Not enough prose.
I'm a simple man, not a little ponce like yourself.
I can tell.
How about the lady herself? I thought sweetly of you while I penned that.
That's creepy.
Wonderful. I'll get to work on the little scaly stripling next, maybe.
Oh. Don't force yourself. It's obviously pushing you really hard.
There is just silence. But in the very distance you can hear quills scritching paper.
Is he still hunter's marked, by the way?
It's been a while, I think you lost concentration on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took a
That would be
couple,
weird if
you took a couple of hits from the mean locks, I think that's when you lost it.
I think it's.
At this point, I just imagine the only he's been laughing as such that when we hear the script, he's just fuck, I'm fucking shot them. I fucking
Like-
shot them. Fucking.
No, he's just
posting angrily on the internet.
no, he's just doing that S. Everyone knows how to do that S.
Yeah.
Originality, please.
Still silence.
I don't think he's capable of originality.
Alright, well, let's keep move on. We don't have all day waiting, listening to third grade poetry, and that's me being generous.
Yes, please don't insult first graders anymore, please.
Alright,
Let's
so
get the ash.
We already did. He said we easily collected. So.
Albert was this way, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's just start heading
Can
down.
I tie? I'm gonna destroy my shirt. Make little pouches of ash.
No, no, no,
He just goes Hulkamania.
Hang
no,
on.
no. We already stopped you from burning your rope to say we're not need to destroy anything.
That was hemp rope.
This is
Hemp
bedroll
and
as well.
fucking
Yeah. Your bedroll as well.
The bedroll was his first idea, I think. The rope came after.
Yeah, yeah.
Hang on. Before we start ripping off clothes, what is your plan, little man?
Well, we
we
need
start
something to bundle this ash in so we can throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in little packets of cloth, and so we can actually heave it properly.
Well, the covers already said that we had put them in like little bags. Like
Well, it's up to you guys, you know. Think about what you're going to do, but make sure you state it.
I'd say, if anything, we probably want large bags because it's a big oni.
Yeah, but we've got to throw it. And we don't want to blind ourselves at the same time.
That is true.
Alright, I'm giving it a little try on this one. Kobold Fool, Fin Bones Lean Meat, tonight, you.
Oh, it's a haiku.
Improvement? Maybe.
It's
Okay,
a
let
promise.
me want it.
You get 2 high coins.
I'm not clumping up with y'all.
No,
I'm
please
sure
continue.
That's a valid strategy.
Because no lesson should be learned more than 4 times.
Stop clumping up with me.
This corner of a street does indeed have some of the older buildings. It looks like it was when it sort of is really set up. These are stone buildings. They are a bit sturdier. One might have been a business at one point, but it's definitely they've all become residences at some point. You can also see through some of the boarded up windows, but there's those mannequins. These ones look quite well done, actually. No faces, but the clothing looks a little better, and so does the carving and finish on them.
Well, gotta check some of the doors to see if there's anything that indicates like a trap or anything.
Give me an investigation. You take a moment to sort of think about what would Siegfried do in this occasion. Then you remember the convoy, so you think, I'll just look around. I'll make sure my hands are nowhere near any of this. It looks like the doorway does indeed have a trap on it. As you look at the door handle, you can see that there's a very thin little hole that's been carved in deep.
Right, well, careful of this one. Seems to be a little supply.
Perfect time for a mage hand.
Yep, which I have.
And as it turns the handle, as you expect, a stiletto point just slides right out. Quite forcefully, in fact. You're worried it's actually going to launch, but, you know, you were smart enough not to stand anywhere in front of it.
Yeah.
But instead it just comes out a good 6 inches.
Could attach someone to the door. Wanna go outside and investigate?
I'm good with that idea.
Knock first.
as you knock on the already open door and push inside to see two mannequins standing there. Although they've been posed as if they're in a conversation, one of them is not doing as well at it.
Is it missing a head?
Nope.
No. He needs to apply himself more.
Yeah, the other one just looks like it's just not interested. But it's too polite to not say otherwise.
Yeah, the other one is doing a bit of wide gesticulation. Also, I'm just remembering that Rain doesn't have a lantern right now.
Yes, yeah, I do.
No, it was smashed, remember?
Yeah,
Oh
the,
yeah.
But you do...
I used light. A light cantrip.
But as you get down, you do start recognizing the street you guys originally entered into.
Yay! Wait.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
the south.
portals, remember?
Now you're thinking with them.
I think about them. I don't know if I'm thinking with them.
No, I'm just remembering we ran away from something.
You're remembering portals fondly.
Oh no, we were running towards that. We were trying to catch him.
Oh, right, right.
All right, well, let's try and go inside the hut. Try, kind of just keep the mage hand over the floor towards the pops to see if it like springs anything.
Yeah, you are finding a few of the boards are loose, and one of them actually is. Yeah, you get a little press, and you can feel it's going to rise. There's pressure underneath, whereas the others are just, loose for the sake of it's a shitty house. This one you can feel a pressure beneath.
Careful if you just couple the steps in here, it might be just like the house where Rain got her foot through.
There's also, as you look back at the door, you can see quite the mechanism that's just been installed with wooden nails in order to get the stiletto blade out.
Brilliant
Does the
fellow.
stilettos seem poisoned? Is there a coating on it?
There was. It's quite dry looking. But you can see like little traces of something that was smeared on it, but it looks like this has sat for a while.
Okay, do you want to take that just in case? Maybe dry, but maybe it'll still work as a stabbing weapon with poison.
Malgarin?
I mean, I guess I could take it. Sure. So what does that give me?
Hmm?
There-
Be-
there-
They want you to just pull out the blade?
yeah, I'm kind of nervous about just pulling on the blade, though.
Well, it's already sprung.
Okay.
It's about... Yeah, about 12 inches of a solid metal that's got a nice sharp point at the tip. No handle, so it's going to be a little tricky to hold, but it'll count as a dagger, but piercing.
Okay.
Whether
May
there's
have
still-
poisonous properties. Who knows?
Well, I'm gonna find out because I'll jam it into something. See what happens.
Oh, you can leave it in them. No
Yeah.
reason you have to pull it afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not gonna want it back.
Alright, well, gotta go inside the house, avoiding some of the planks that I found were squeaky.
More distant now, in fact, it's actually a bit hard to hear. Fancy man with a terrible aim. Thought he'd make it hot and heavy. Grabbed his ball and spoke arcane. Blew his load and burned the shanty.
Oh, almost,
Wow.
Oh,
almost rhymed at the end.
Rain is cackling maniac.
Thank you, thank you. I love an appreciative audience. I'll give you a personal thank you at some point soon.
I don't look so amused anymore.
Can we go
Cornelius.
in?
Yeah,
Yes,
you guys are inside.
Yeah, we're in now.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Colonel, I'm in.
Alright, so you're all in. We've established that.
Yes.
Now, what the fuck are you doing?
I was waiting to see if you were going to put a token somewhere else or something. Like, what's
Yeah.
in here?
I don't need... There's not a map for every house. There doesn't need to be.
Okay, sorry. I thought there might have been so we could go in here.
Yeah, you can go into every house, but, you know, not all of them have, say, an encounter in them.
All right. So what does it look like inside?
Yeah, you just said there's 2 mannequins in there. Like, are there floors, or is it just this one room? Like,
Yeah, it's... Well, this one's a little bit bigger. Good stone walls that have some pretty shitty wooden paneling on them. It's like a main sort of meeting room. It looks like it has about, you know, room to be most of the house. And you can see a door to the back wall, a door to the right. It's not all that furnished, actually. It looks like a lot of it's been sort of pulled away. No table, no chairs.
but yeah, I'm guessing these stone walls in here doesn't look particularly impressive either.
Not to you, but for a dwarf, maybe.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Do you want to make use of that trait of yours?
Malgurn, what is your dwarf eye say about the power level of these stone walls?
Maybe it's igneous.
And I'm sorry, brewery intensifies.
As you give a few steps on places that have been cleared by the mage hand, and just sort of feel along the wall. Give me a history roll with advantage.
She's already up. And
Oh, why am I checking the tab for?
I like how the dwarf and the kobold are past and present tense, because the dwarf knows stone and the kobold knows stone.
no. There you go.
I know how to work my sheet.
Do you? Do you have a handle on your sheet? Get your sheet
I
together,
did
man.
it.
You feel long and you think these have stood for quite a while. For a human, they've stood for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like, there's at least about 800 years here.
Not bad.
You figure it's probably only got about another 2 left.
Okay, that's kind of bad.
But, you know, for a human, that's the best they could have done, obviously.
Like 2 years or 200 years?
2 years.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
2 years.
To be fair, he's also, when he's thinking 800 years, that's how long the stones have been around. Not as a wall.
Yeah, they've been the stones have existed, but they haven't been walled.
Yeah. If anything, putting them in this wall has decreased the quality of this rock. But what do you expect from shoddy human craftsmanship? As you walk along, though, you do, you know, you feel along another part. This one a bit smoother, and you're thinking, this could be dwarf hand. Not skilled dwarf hand, but, you know, a dwarf probably fixed this because it would need to be fixed.
Called the dwarven handyman. I like that idea.
This one probably got about 50 years, but I mean, it's not his fault. Look what it's attached to.
He did. You work with what you're given.
Yeah. This is like trying to put a plaster on a gangrene limb. He did an amazing job, but there's only so much that can be salvaged.
Yeah.
You look around, yeah, it's sturdy. I mean, for general purposes, it would take a few hits to get through the wall. Not for you, but for anyone else, yeah.
It's better than nothing.
You're convinced that you could easily bring this place down.
Yeah, then he could
Not
probably do it a
Teslas.
lot faster.
You,
Than...
you don't know what I'm thinking. Quiet elf.
Well, he's thinking it more in terms of structural engineering. All he has to do is go for all the human-made bits, and it'll crumble.
Yeah, my dad sent me to engineering school. Didn't pan out.
Let me guess. You failed by 1 point.
Yes.
He was missing 1 credit.
He had to do that thing where he had to do that thing the old artisans did, where he had to build an arch, but he forgot the keystone and it just collapsed on him.
Oh god.
I'm my professor. And you failed.
And you fail. That was said during the funeral. To my beloved students, may you succeed in everything you endeavor in. And there's a particular note here for Amalgern Torevir. You failed.
You failed. Yeah.
Oh.
Right, well. I'm gonna check some of the other rooms in here. See if there's anything in.
Preferably, yes. I suppose let's check that room along the back.
Were you checking far door or one beside you?
Well, might
I
as
was
well check the
thinking-
one. Yeah. What? Which one? Sorry.
No, go on. You have the mage hand up right now.
She wants you to use the
Okay.
touch.
You got the touch.
The real teacher's pet. He's not enough just raising his hands, just cast fucking mage's hands to make sure he's getting picked.
I mean, well, that's how you know that the student's worth getting the question from. If they can't cast Mage Hand yet, you ignore them until they can. Or until they quit.
Don't make me cast mage hand.
Yeah, probably just say the closest one to begin with is
Yeah.
there. But yeah, just maybe stand back. Just gonna see if I can see anything at the door. See if there's another trap. Wow.
As you fondle along, you feel there's not at the door, but the door frame itself. And it looks to be, as you check it, you can see a little bit where the wood's been sawed away and then replaced. Looks like the same kind of swing-out blade trap that's Ray nearly got killed by.
Just out of curiosity, what does Siegfried actually roll when he has to do this?
Investigation.
Does he have a high int?
He's got...
So there's a...
Yeah, that's why rogues get expertise, so they can make up for
Oh,
it.
right, yeah.
But he does have a high int because he was originally an arcane trickster.
Huh.
Yeah, right.
But then he got so fucking drunk he forgot how to cast magic. That is what he took as his canonical thing between the 6 months when this happened.
That's pretty good.
Cornelius learned a language, Malgern failed utterly as a paladin and became a fighter, and Siegfried got so fucking drunk.
So drunk, he changed sunglasses.
For the entire 6 months he was shit-faced and broken.
I can relate to that.
Aren't you guys lucky they don't know the true story of the heroes of Van Dalen?
I mean, it's the romanticized version. That's normal.
You mean the part we don't mention about where we had to make a deal with the fucking necromancers to save our hides?
I know, instead it became a battle between wizards. A great one, where it became a slap fight. Which is always the best kind of fight for wizards. Where the spells are gone, they're just beating each other up as nerds do. Lots of hair pulling, name calling, and biting.
That was an interesting encounter.
Jamming your wand up his nose while he clunks you with his orb. As we call it, the Rincewind method.
Oh, he knows how to fight.
Yeah.
Rinswind knows how to fight. Anyway, I should probably figure out this door.
See, the problem is you don't have thieves' tools and you're not very knowledgeable in how to disarm this sort of stuff, but you could easily trigger it.
Yeah.
And that's basically disarming, just with less of a flourish.
Now, I don't know what this trap actually does, but you might want to step away if you want me to. Oh, actually, hang on. I knock on the door. Is there anyone on the other side? Because we're not here to kill you.
There is no
That's what
response.
someone that was here to kill me would say.
Exactly.
Well, it's only that we don't want to waste your trap. But anyway, I'm probably gonna trigger it now. I'm gonna walk away from here, triggering from a safe distance, so it's going to go to waste. I'm just giving you a fair warning if you're on the other side.
You gave that door far more warning than the dude's house you burnt down.
To be fair, I was not aiming at the house.
You were just aiming in a 30-foot radius of whatever the fuck's in my way.
That was not exactly time to give a warning.
I
unless
didn't
you want
ask
my prime members to be
how big
eaten.
the town was. I said I cast fireball.
I didn't ask for how packed together these poor people buildings are. I said I cast fireball. Yeah, as you push the door open with your mage hand, a scythe blade swings round quite viciously and violently. It almost looks like it comes off the frame.
By Chimera.
Right about neck height. So again,
I don't
Malgern
know
and
if that's
Zarzel could have walked through
upstairs.
this door with ease.
Yeah, you're really safe when you're a dwarf because they build a lot of traps at human.
Yeah. Mainly dwarves build traps at human height. Or as they say,
Yeah.
elf height.
Because fuck them.
But yeah, it looks like the door's clear now, although, you know, the blade's still in the way, but that's easily gotten rid of.
Yeah, just gotta take a cursory glance.
As you peer in, it looks like a combination of kitchen, of preparatory area, and also bedroom. There were a few cots here that look like they've been sitting for a long time, although it's mainly a couple of sheets. Anything of the bed frames or boxes have been pulled away. There's some splinters and shards of wood, and a couple of nails that sort of point out, yeah, they took what was burnable here.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's all there is to the room then.
Yeah, there's nothing laying about apart from some rotten food bags, which Pufflesworth would be interested in if he could see it.
Well, Castalia, that's the rotten food if you want to find something to throw at the ogre.
Is there any rotten vegetables?
Yeah, quite a number of very mushy potatoes and shit.
Oh, not potatoes. It has to be something with juice in it.
Rotten potatoes have plenty of juice.
Yeah,
and they think
as someone,
juice up.
trust me, I can say an experience here. When a potato is very rotten, oh yeah, they ooze. They will rupture and splat.
Because we had potatoes go bad on us.
Yeah.
That kitchen got ruined.
I'll grab a potato then.
Most vegetables will become puddles.
Yeah. They're biodegradable. That's what they do.
Well, I got my potato then.
Got
You've-
it.
And make
You've got a
certain-
handful of very rotten potatoes.
Now, make certain that when you throw this at him, do tell him that he is only a fifth-rate Jean de Colophon of Waterdeep local amateur theater, okay?
I figure you have to walk her through that word.
I could have fixed the dagger blade I took from the trap to the
That's
potato.
entirely on purpose, and it's entirely convoluted.
No? Okay then.
Sorry, what did you say?
It's like I could have fixed the dagger blade I stole from the trap to the potato.
It's not going to be a great handle. Gonna warn you
No,
up
but
front.
then when you throw it at him, the blade gets lodged into him, and then the potato explodes. It's a double whammy. Oh, he'll hate us.
Malgern smashing things with the sword.
Quiet, quiet.
If any of you
Don't
could
have
read
some fucking
Halfling,
here,
you'd know
jeez.
that that's not one of the 5 things you can do with a potato.
Oh, that book. Oh man.
That massive 800-page tome, yes. 5 things to do with a potato.
I
Halflings
think
are known for using very big letters. Sorry, what are you saying?
I think he means you, Pio.
no, I was saying nothing.
Okay.
Alright, I guess we check the other room then.
As you get closer to the door, there is a bit of an unpleasant smell behind it. And you realize you passed by this house before. It had a bit of a sort of smell of death about it.
Like on that.
You know, Maybe we don't actually have to go into this room.
You could. I have a map for this one.
I guess we have to because the DM has made a fucking map for it.
Oh no, don't worry. I've thrown away tons of maps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I said that there wasn't anything else, so may as well open
You
up.
could
because
just
we went
leave.
for the
You don't have. You could just do the logical thing of getting near a door that smells of death and thinking, nah, no.
Yeah.
I make some maps in preparation for stupid decisions the party makes, and those get used a lot. It's the logical ones that don't come up a whole bunch.
I investigate the door to see if there are traps.
It is not trapped, it is, however, locked. But it's locked on your side, so you could just pull the bar.
Interesting.
See, I can't believe you
Yeah,
told
that
him. I
sounds
thought you were gonna
different.
wait for him to figure it out. Just like the fucking.
Well,
says-
no, I investigated it, so I would have known.
Yeah.
yeah. The pull door. Greatest enemy.
Right, I'll gotta step aside and warn people if they want to place themselves somewhere else because I'm gonna push the lock open.
Yeah? It's unlocked.
Yeah, and I'm gonna open it.
As you open it up, hang on. As I scroll along.
La-da-da-la-da-da-da.
Yeah. Did I put duplicates? I did. Excellent, okay. Because it saves time dragging around all the fucking various maps. Anyway. So, while it is a bedroom, nominally it is just another antechamber sort of thing. And don't worry, I'll click you guys into position. So let's just, there we go, get the tokens exposed. Wait a minute, we don't need this one here. That's just a dead man walking. The room itself is very bare. It looks like everything's been pulled away, even the floorboards, so it's actually quite awkward to step across. There's just the big, slatted beams. And there's a door further on the opposite side of the room.
So the stench is not coming from this room.
It's gotten stronger, but it's not in the room itself.
Blah. Malcolm, can you take the next door, just in case this is gonna do something bad? You seem to be a sturdier kind with these kind of things.
The door is like over here.
No, the door's to the south here. Because there's only, for some reason, there's a real lack of interior buildings for maps. So I gotta be improvisational.
Hold on, there's the cat in the sink.
So what are you doing, Malgern?
Well, first I'm gonna try to investigate the door.
Good.
I saw, just not. I'm not good to. Okay, I actually did okay that.
Doesn't seem to have any traps evident on it. And again, it's another barred door, but the bar is on your side.
Alright. I move the bar and slowly open the door. See if I can get a peek at what's inside.
The first thing you see is a zombie sitting at a table. It is definitely a decayed corpse. It looks really fucking rank. It is not remotely fresh. It's not been hauled out of a grave recently. This looks like it's been months shuffling about.
Alright, I think I found the smell. Oh.
As you open up a little further, hang on. You see a fresher corpse, although a lot smaller. You realize, probably a kid. Probably a kid corpse.
That's unfortunate.
As you keep on opening, you see a full-grown man in robe and staff looking at you with a real glance of surprise.
Oh, fuck.
He says that as well.
I recognize the token.
And he just sits there for a moment in complete stun.
So,
Who the fuck are you?
No. No time. No, fuck it. No, he's getting clomped. No words.
He really tried.
Why are we? Why are we clonking people?
It's
I
what you
think
guys do.
I just spied a necro. There's zombies and a guy that looks dressed like Cornelius in there. I'm not taking chances. Boss first, ask questions later.
One of these is way worse than the other. Zombie's got an AC of or initiative of 1.
This or a compliment?
Well, he's afraid of it, so I'd take it as a compliment.
I didn't.
Holy
It
shit!
didn't mark me
I can't find it.
because I clicked on my token. My token was still clicked when it said that I did click.
Did it?
There we go. You're on there now, so you can use your number. Malgarn, you need it as well, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I had myself highlighted. I thought. Weird. There we go.
Nope.
Oh no, Malkern's about to get mini-meat.
I need to bring up my Grateful Undead sheet.
Okay, this counts as Cornelius goading me on yet again. Oh, Gurn, can you take the next door?
To be fair, he said open the door, not break the skull, you see.
I just wanted to open the door because I figured, oh, the rest of us is gonna start fucking puking with the smell. Dwarf does that, deals with that better.
I gotta try and find where I put his attacks. It's been a while. Oh yeah, here we go. So roll.
Shove some
so-
barley up my nose.
Yeah, roll your damage. You did hit.
Did it hit? Okay.
Yeah. As you struck this kind of weathered looking. He's more weathered looking than he is old. And you can see he was sitting there with a bit of a meal on hand. Yeah, and you bonk
Yeah, but
him.
he's surrounded- Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying.
trust the
I'm
man
not judging.
surrounded by
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he was sitting there at mealtime, then you came through the door and threw a hammer at him.
You know, that sounds about right for this party.
We're top of a round. Yes.
Be prepared since I talked to a door in the other rooms.
Let's see, are we? No. Okay, there is initiative higher, so.
I mean, that
There we go.
is fair. Cornelius was announcing his presence the whole time.
Well, detecting a life force, this thing clambers over the table and leaps at you with a chunk of sharpened leg bone. Where did I put this one? No, it's just where the fuck did I put them?
Oh no, it's the child. I don't want to hit a child.
It didn't hit you.
Yeah. I kind
Wolfgang.
of just like put my shield up, and my shield is taller than it, so you know.
Yeah, it is but a child.
Yeah.
Hearing the obvious problems up ahead, Wolfgang is going to advance. And
Why isn't there a gif of where Mini-Me is running up and biting Dawson Powers in the dick?
And if I get a free action during that surprise round, I do yell back, I think I found where the smell is coming from. You're gonna want to come here.
You don't. None of you heard that at all. Stricken from a record. That's a miss, actually.
oh, yep, it's a miss.
Cornelius.
Okay, boy.
I mean, you can sort of see if you lean the zombie head, kind of. But the dwarf's in the doorway, and you know the zombie's sitting, and there's no way you can see the skeletal kid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cast Frostbite on the zombie.
I'll go and do good.
I'll go and do good.
Okay.
Yes. Full damage at disadvantage on attack.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna add that to my balance. Toss first, ask questions later.
Cool. You've got no fucking way of getting an easy shot here. You are too small. You also might be muted.
Sasu. Webcam?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you were still here.
Vaguely. Okay.
Got a little deep into the bottle, huh?
Possibly. Ah. There ain't no way I'm helping here, unfortunately. Shooting the dwarf is probably not a good option. Can I shoot over the dwarf, the one thing at the table?
You're using a crossbow, so no. That attempt to arc a shot is going to get a bolt in the ceiling.
Just shoot between my legs.
There's nothing there to hit. Give him a sporting chance.
Sure.
Sporting chance? Yeah. First I'll tell him to swing him about a bit.
So is this a disadvantage to hit the kid?
It's got a +4 on its AC. That's what your main issue.
That sounded like when I tried to do the tongue twister.
Once again, we've got to the point where the ranger cannot walk in a straight line.
Straight lines are boring. Okay, light crossbow is the kid zombie.
That's a hit.
Yeah, that's a good hit.
And-
And also 4 damage for favored enemy now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But it's shattered. There is just bits of fragmented child skeleton all around Malgern.
Excellent.
For the part of a necromancer, who did not at all expect this to happen to his day, takes very quick stock of his situation, thinks about it for a moment, and then, let's see here. Where did I put his stuff? There we go. Man, it's been a long time since I put these attacks in.
Oh boy.
Can I, Zazu, yell out something? Hello, friend. Can we have a word?
It's a bit late for that. He hit me in the face. So instead, centered on you, Malgern, he's going to cast Hunger of the Dead. 20-foot radius sphere of blackness emerges. So basically, the room is filled, and some of it where you guys are standing.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm not gonna be able to counterspell that.
You can't even see him now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. The void is
Where
filled with a
is he
cacophony
casting
of...
Where is he casting it?
He is casting it here.
Okay.
Although he himself ran a little bit out of it. And yes, you are suddenly plunged into darkness, Malgern, Zarzul, Rain. Let's see, I think Castelia as well. Yeah, all you got. Yeah. Are now suddenly in pitch blackness, hearing the rasping of air and rattling bones. And he continues using his movement to get the fuck out of there.
Wait, how did? Oh, is there another door over here or something?
Oh, yeah, Malgrim would actually be able to see it. There is a stairway leading up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Fortunately, nothing happened just yet, except now. Now it happens. So, 2d6 cold damage. On Castalia. So you take 8.
Alright.
These guys are telling you have this bell.
I do.
Oh, thank God.
And it's gone. You do hear a muffled fuck.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the asshole. That's the asshole. Dispelled twice with my
No. Let's not go pointing fingers about who's the asshole here, because a few could be directed at the party, too. He was having dinner, and Malgern just hit him with a hammer. Come on. Someone's the asshole here, and it's not him.
Alright.
Self-defense.
Which one of these two is blocking the door?
You could easily push past him. one more forcefully than the other.
In turn.
You've got your gauntlets. It's no power.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the room with a zombie.
Malgern.
Well, Malgern's kind of in the way for that.
Yeah. But you could get past him if you wanted.
Hold on, Malgern is in the kitchen.
Like, shooting past him is a problem, but you can move through other people's spaces if they're friendly. Official rules say stuff like difficult terrain. I don't care about that because it's 5 foot square. You easily get past each other. All you do is say, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
Well, the thing is, I've already used my action, so...
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to fill the cap.
Now, does Malgern, does he want to fight a boring zombie, or does he want to hunt down the nerd that tried to cast darkness and death on him?
Unfortunately, it's not your turn.
Isn't it?
No.
It's Malgern.
It's Malgern's turn.
Yeah, I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
But I'm
Yeah,
just
he's
pointing
trying
out
to-
Cornelius can't influence him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go for what's right in front of me. We'll deal with the immediate threat, and then we'll worry about the.
It's
the man
not
in
just good life
pajamas.
advice, it's good dating advice too. That's a clean hit.
Hit.
13 damage, yep.
And if he's still standing, we're gonna hit him again because we can.
Another hit.
So close, so close.
And it falls apart. You defeated a zombie. As you step in, you can also see the dude going up the stairs.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna chase him up the stairs.
Fuck off! He just looks back at you, sort of waving his stick at you. Fuck off!
I'm kind of chuckling, you know. He's got a stick, ooh, because this has never backfired before at all. At least as far as I have no memory of it.
Especially not
backfiring.
with necromancers, no.
Yeah, I have no memory of it backfiring, none whatsoever.
Rain.
just black. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'll dash because I can't do anything right now. So, can I sneak by Malgern?
Yeah, you can get over Malgern.
Yeah, you can pass me. I think we established that we
3.
can do that.
Hi!
Fuck off!
Why did you have zombies in here?
Well, they're useful. Who the fuck are you? Why do you have a trained attack dwarf? Why did my spell not work? Who the fuck are you?
Hi, I'm Rain, a cleric of Kellamvor. Nice to meet ya.
Oh fuck, you're one of them.
Oh.
Now, what were you doing here? And then maybe I won't let the trained attack dwarf smash your face in.
Not getting killed by a fucking Oni. He doesn't like the smell of death. He doesn't like rotted food.
Now that's something we didn't know. So why don't we settle in for a little bit and talk things out? It's pretty natural to want to smack something in the face when it's a zombie.
He didn't hit the zombie. He hit me.
Yeah, you're the zombie.
I could have been a hostage. He didn't know that.
Zombies don't take hostages. They're not that smart. I would know.
Yeah, you don't look that smart.
I put my hand on my hip and I look at him.
I'm sorry. It's been a rough day. I just got attacked.
It's like we haven't 80 million times today.
I don't know your life. Don't try to compare your situation to mine.
Last I checked, we're in the same situation because we've got a crazy Oni running around.
Okay, so you've been here. Okay, alright, fine. I put up my hands, okay? Now call him off.
Malgern, can we just wait and talk to this?
No, his
gentleman?
hands are still free. He can still cast a spell.
Malgern.
His hands are in the air. That's what he wants.
Alright, let me look at my spellbook for a situation for this.
You ran. You
Keep him
can't
away
do
from me.
anything.
Oh yeah, I can't. Malgern,
He actually sidesteps in order to try and be behind Rain.
why am I protecting the necromancer? Malgern, as a reminder, you don't want me to have to use command person on you, so chill for a second, okay?
All right.
I chill, but I still find it hard to believe that she has the power to command me.
At this point,
Me?
I'll say
Only
we're out of
Cornelius
initiative,
can
and
do
at
that.
this point, two ghouls walk out through the door, picking their teeth, looking up. Hi.
Hi.
They're just looking at you guys.
Malgern!
They're just sort of half awake. Do we have guests? Yeah, we've got guests for now, yes. Not
How
feeding
many do
them.
you have?
Don't worry about that. There's food for everyone. Just get the fuck
told
back
you
in
we
your room.
couldn't trust him. There's
Get back-
more.
Shut up! Get back in your room, you two. Go on. Deal with this later. And they just shuffle on back. There. See? I made a good gesture. You guys haven't. Jeez, there's a lot of you.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them.
Oh, where's Pufflesworth?
He's not... Well, he's by your side right now.
So an owlbear ghoul walks into the room. Hi.
Okay, everybody, let's just chill. What's up? Is there anything upstairs?
Yeah, there's another small child skeleton and a zombie sitting there.
Oh God.
I don't like this.
All right, let's go back downstairs. All of us. Malgern, you first.
Yes, him first.
I begrudgingly move.
Don't sit in
Keep
that
going
chair. That
over
one's
there.
mine.
But I'm gonna remember this because
he
he
scoots
did
over.
stand there and let me beat the shit out of it.
Ah, this one's still warm. Unfortunately, the rest of the chairs all had zombies sitting on them, so they are horrible.
Oh, I see why he
Sounds
likes
still
I'm
not
standing.
happy.
Yeah, I'm not happy either.
Yeah, Cornelius just gonna. Oh no, he can't. Never mind.
What do you... Well,
Here's the one with a zombie
I-
boyfriend.
I'm just kind of motioning like press the digithingy. please.
Yeah, pretty safe to see the bits.
Everybody would actually know the motions by now.
he knows the motions but not the words. They have syllables.
I was like, have I learned prestidigitation by association at this point?
No, sadly, that's not how it works.
That would be amazing.
You've learned the most important thing, which is how to say it.
Yeah,
That takes some wizards years.
I've learned how to say it, and usually Droop listens.
Prestidigitate.
Okay.
I kind of sigh into the necromancer. I go, all right. I introduce myself. That dwarf, the trained attack dwarf, is Malgern. That's Cornelius Castalia. Oh, for fuck's sake.
He might have a sore throat, or maybe you guys think you've got an alternate identity?
No, I'm just a little weary about you just giving out their names to necromancers.
At this point, this is not the biggest part of our trouble. You all know that I
Speak for
strongly...
yourself, El.
Look, the skull of necromancy is also entwined with divine power.
Yeah,
Don't
ask her
start me.
boyfriend.
It's not
Don't-
it's not terribly evil.
No, it isn't.
Don't start with me on
Oh,
that.
I'm
We're not
tightening.
getting into this conversation right now.
No,
I
urge
would
to
very
toss
much prefer to get
intensifies.
rid of the Oni, and then we can have this discussion later. Let's not get into this before I lose my temper.
Oh, well, I'm not going out to fight him. I'm happy to have this conversation. It means he's not attacking me.
I look at the necromancer and ask, "Do you have any weed? I really need some weed."
What the fuck is wrong with you?
He takes a look at the group for a moment. He waits until Rain and Cornelius are going at each other before he says, "All right, what have you got? I need at least some coin to make this worthwhile."
I'm just looking at Cornelius going, what the fuck? Are we in Bizarro land?
I got 10 silver on me. How's that sound for a start?
10 silver, all right. Now, remember, this is the hard stuff, okay? This is to help me commune with the dead, so when you take it, make sure you're somewhere calm, cold, No one's going to be around to touch you because you won't want to be touched when you're on it.
Oh, God. And
It gives you a
Zarzul
small little bag. It looks like it's good for about 3 uses. It is some dark black leaves. Now,
Excellent.
you smoke these, okay? Don't try and put them in a tea or any kind of snack or anything. It won't work that way. It'll just give you horrible diarrhea. But this way, it'll help. It'll get you to a new level.
I had a brick. Gone.
Well, you should have been more conscious about your stuff.
I'm massaging my temples right now.
And then he looks back at the rest of you as if none of this ever happened.
Alright, so as we were saying, we've introduced ourselves. What is your name?
John.
John. Hello,
Yeah.
John.
John will work.
I figured.
Well, I'm not an idiot going to reveal my real name.
Very well.
Yeah.
Point is, what are you doing here?
If he's protecting his name, I'm going to do the same thing.
Point is, what are you doing here?
I got
This doesn't
stuck.
look like...
I came in looking for a shitty place to hide out, and it turned out it was even worse than expected. I thought darkness, fine, I can handle that. That's kind of my calling.
Okay, so what is
course,
it you
you
said
could-
about the Oni not liking rotting food?
Oh yeah, he doesn't like the smell of horribly rotting corpse or anything. He likes it at least fresh. You know, he likes it screaming. He's that kind of guy. Very fussy about his meals.
Is that why you keep the ghouls around?
They were here
Besides
first, actually. That's the... Look,
Oh.
I'm going to say this up front. I didn't kill these people. I'm just making use of them.
Well, yeah.
Okay?
Also, could those two ghouls talk?
Yeah, ghouls can.
Oh.
It's just they're usually, more interested in pulling you down as a meal, but they're quite civilized.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
Although-
I want to clarify.
I can't
when you
believe we're
said they were
humoring
here
this man.
already, you mean that the corpses were here, not the ghouls.
Oh no, the ghouls were here as well. Why do you think those kids were so bare to the bones?
If the
Don't
ghouls
look so
were
squeamish.
here-
We're just making use of things. Yes, the ghouls were here.
If they were here, how did they get here?
He says he arrived and they were already here. I don't know. The ghouls tell him?
I didn't feel it polite to pry.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought, we could hide out here together because they don't want to mess with the Oni either. So I just thought we'd have a nice little thing and not make it awkward by bringing up motivations.
So, where does that door lead to?
The one behind me? Oh, it's just another bedroom.
I see.
Said the blind man.
So, alright.
I can't
Do you have
afford to
any
offer you
idea-
guys a drink or anything, but make yourselves at home. By which I mean don't kill anyone. Specifically me.
Does that include the Oni?
Oh, the Oni you can kill. Go ahead and murderize him. I am not messing with that. Anything that can keep on fixing death, I don't like.
Would you be willing to assist us in getting rid of him?
Oh. That's a big ask. Starts to scratch at his filthy hair and all. You see him start to work at his cheek a bit and stroke the beard. He's very dangerous.
True,
Okay.
but helping us to defeat him would certainly make people a little less burn you at the stake type mentality that normally comes with people who
Oh,
practice
I'm not looking for acceptance. I'm quite fine to just keep shuffling on in the dark. That's fine. So, that's less distractions. I don't need to have my names up in lights.
You don't need your names up in the light, but the slight problem is, if this problem doesn't go away, eventually he will get hungry
That's true.
and find you.
Yes, he already has done once before. Not in this building. I went to another one afterwards. I'm going to sound very mercenary about this, and it might seem a little ill-timed to do so, but I'm a little curious on, is there an incentive? Because I don't really care about people's positive opinion. And I know it's a dangerous situation, but I need something a little more than just, I continue to live. If you understand, it helps improve morale a little bit.
Well, don't look at me, because all of the coins I had kind of went bye-bye.
Oh, that's a familiar feeling for Cornelius.
Oh god, I'm the richest person here.
Yeah, and you just
No.
You spent it on a bag of weed.
Person here.
yeah.
No, I believe I'm the
I
richest
have
person here right now.
platinum.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Not wanting to spend the plat on the big hit, huh?
I think he's probably a little bit worried about how to explain where he suddenly got a bag full of platinum. Because I certainly didn't give him that.
What a shitty party.
I would think that not being eaten by an Oni would be a pretty good incentive to do things.
Well, yes, but it's nice to have a little bit more to look forward to than just, the next day.
He's trying to tell us whatever reason should there be for him to, as soon as we meet the Oni and things turn south, he don't just bail on us and run away.
Well, I'm definitely going to do that, of course, because he hit me. And I don't hear an apology. And I don't think it's ever coming, either.
Exactly. And if you were to guarantee some sort of incentive, like a payment of some sort, you have more tendency to like us to stay alive, so you can receive said payment.
Exactly. A little consolation, and then you all just look to the left, maybe, afterwards.
Sure.
It seems perfectly fair. I'm not asking for a lot, but I have gone into my stores for quite a bit now, because I don't eat the same as my friends. So I'm a little light right now. And it's not fun being between employers.
Who was your last employer?
Oh, some shitty elf. I don't really remember, to be honest. I met him maybe twice.
Oh,
Just out of curiosity,
Does the word prenders mean anything to you?
No?
Excellent, this is a good start.
can I roll insight on when he said no on that?
You can.
Oh, I did not notice anything. He's speaking the absolute truth.
He said it in a tone that seems pretty convincing. He was very quick at it, but he's also pretty nervous because the dwarf's staring at him.
now at this point, I asked for clarification. Again, you don't know a Prender.
Personally, no. In the past, maybe. I don't really remember.
So what you're saying is you know of him and you just don't know him.
I'm saying maybe I met someone called Prenders at some point, but recently, no.
Related to your necromantic elf friend.
I didn't say he was a necromancer. I just said he was a shitty elf. Which is most of them, I'm going to be honest there.
True.
I met.
I look to Malgern to see if this man has started earning his respect.
Does Malgorn in fact try and high five the necromancer now?
No, nothing's changed.
Okay, doesn't grudgingly try to make a high
I just
five.
imagine there's like that twitching side of his mouth where it's trying to be a smile.
This is not.
So I'm going to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
The elf you were working for was not a necromancer.
He might have been in his spare time. Professionally, I didn't know much about him. Personally, I knew even less.
Out of curiosity, did he try to make a big ball of skeletons?
That's a very specific thing to worry about.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Just as I guess a professional question.
Mm-hmm.
Describe the large lump of bone that we came across. What do you think was up with that?
The large lump of bone?
bone
Yeah,
sphere.
The bone
the
sphere.
bone sphere.
From the,
Oh.
the ball skeleton ball.
Sounds like an interesting experiment. Not one I would do personally. I prefer zombies, and only because I'm getting practical use out of something that would lie dead. As a disclaimer, I'm just pointing that out. His eyes are darting between all of you.
Wait.
I'm not much of an ossification expert.
Hey, what now?
Ossification, bone. I'm not an official officiary. Ha ha ha.
I think at this. Malgern, how close are you at the elf hatred has dragged him down for such a bad pun?
He's currently furrowed his brow.
I'm debating my options here.
I'm just wondering if this is the same
Do I
necromancer
push the
that
button?
we saw with the one who was making the bone whip, the
I
ball
don't think so.
bone. Because then he would be the one who went up the arm wall.
Does he look familiar?
Well, we never really saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by height and build wise, possible.
He was up on a hill and you guys were in a crater caused by 2 consecutive fireballs.
The only
Yeah.
the only thing we know about the other guys is it's a very identifying way of calling someone "stop that, you little shits" when it rained on him twice.
So we know his voice.
So if you can scream, so you can make him scream, "Stop that, you little shits," then we go for sure.
Someone give him a purple
To be fair, he
nurple.
was- to be fair, he was screaming at Melgern earlier. I would think we would have recognized.
Yeah, but you guys were also having your ears ringing from an explosion that happened twice on you. Yeah, it sounds a bit familiar.
I forgot.
All right, let's just deep breath. Let's start all over again.
God, just...
I thought we were just nearly at the end. I mean, he helps us out. We look the other way as he goes away. I don't see a problem.
Okay, let me
And
clarify.
then he turns his back.
Who was the elf
Which elf?
that you worked for?
Narrow it down? Do you mean recently?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think, because he might not have told me his name. He's noticing that the air in the room has changed a little bit. He was very pale. Maybe that was part of his name. He wasn't a drow, though. Okay. Caligrast. And he sees that there is no recognition in the party.
Yeah, because I don't think
No one asked.
I
Okay.
think we did, but I don't think we were going to assume he was going to give us his name anyway.
All right, do we have to go the zone of truth route on this?
You could also
Don't want
insight
to
check him if you want.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'll do that first.
Is this whole room a zone of truth?
Fuck
Yeah,
your sister.
slept with your sister.
I am not very insightful today.
You're not really picking up what he's putting down. He could be shifty, he could not. You're not really sure, but it seems like he's telling the truth because he seems to have relaxed a little bit at least. But maybe he's just a pathological liar.
Well, I wager that there's a mixture of multiple things going on here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's lying, but he's also more relieved that because he's probably thinking that we have something up with the elf. We have some dirt on the elf. We have a beef with the elf.
Maybe. With that insight roll, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
You can cast Zone of Truth if you want.
All right. I don't want to waste a spell on.
I wouldn't waste a spell slot at this point.
Look, Rain is interested because if this is the one, then she might get more information on Prenders and more specifically where the key is.
But would you be able to walk out alive with that information?
Also, he had seems to have no idea about prenders, and that would generally stick with somebody at this point.
Well, did he actually have no idea? Because he said it really quickly, apparently.
You don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's strange interacting with people when you don't know what they might mean or not.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a conversation you gotta feel through.
In any case,
This is where Cornelius gets to be like in L.A. Noir. That's an interesting story. Now tell me what you want, you fucking liar! That was one sentence.
that would have meant what a press circle.
That wasn't what the start of the sentence said. God, the worst was in Walking Dead, where you get the choice of saying "it's people," which has many exclamation points, but he fucking squeaks it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's people, and then they all ignore him and eat them.
Yep.
So fucking dumb.
Like, I would be if somebody shouted "it's people," I would wait to figure out what they mean before I start chowing down.
But he didn't. He just said, "It's people." Anyway, back to the scene.
But do you have any idea what could have caused something like this to happen?
Well, I assume it's some sort of... It would need to be an arcane focus of some sort. It's probably quite large. Maybe not as much to fill a room, but it would be... It would need to be decent size. The problem is locating it. It wouldn't need to be open to the air or anything. But there's all manners of things you could do. It would just take a lot of ritual time. It would need to be some, It would need to be worked on, possibly some sacrifices. It might not need to be sustained, however. It's actually quite interesting. And he starts going on about a spiel about a different experiment he heard about. He's about to say he was involved in, but then he goes to, I heard about it. It was mainly about bringing on eternal darkness. Although in a very small area, specifically it was over one person's house and his flower garden. He said for 20 years a friend of his worked on this in just a tale of petty revenge.
I'm about to raise my finger and say that's a lot for a little, but then I remember he's a wizard.
You can look over and see Cornelius a bit, but never mind.
And Rain finds this incredibly fascinating because we've gotten off the necromancy bit. And we've gotten to the weird magic bit.
I did actually hear that there was something like this has happened in the kingdom before, actually.
Oh.
Further to the east, I think it was. It's one of their little shitty villages. But they're probably just, what would you say, a debris heap? Probably with many orc buttocks delved into the ash. Yes, I heard there was, you see, this is a sort of a friend of a colleague of an acquaintance kind of knowledge. There was a town went dark, vanished. I don't know if it's still because it was dark, or maybe it went to some other plane. Because, of course, a darkness like this, apparently that's quite akin to the Shadowfell, which is a fascinating place, and he keeps on going on and on. He's now very interested in this conversation.
Rain is very interested in this conversation as well. She's forgotten what they were here for.
Yeah, Cornelius is also listening. This is entirely nerd talk, so if any of the other party members wants to do other kind of investigation, probably now is the time, because this is nerd central right now.
I wasn't interested till he mentioned the Shadowfell, and now I'm interested.
Rain's also going to point out that whatever's going on here, since we're being kept in, it's entirely possible that it has been moved, at least temporarily.
But apparently there's a family, sort of fallen nobles, Weathercrest, that was it. The Weathercrest. And they're responsible for making this spell, and they've... Apparently one of them has been spreading it about to a few chosen individuals, possibly friends, and then he's just been helping it all along.
Oh, no.
But something of this scale is a bit much, however. Apparently all he did was able to suppress natural dark vision.
Ooh,
But apparently he was also very good with constructs. I heard a few of those that were quite interesting. Like far more variable than just animated dead flesh. Like he was apparently a master of flesh sculpting. But again, I've never met him
Applies to
personally.
mannequins?
This is like 8th or 9th hand knowledge. What were you say? Would you say? Sorry.
The mannequins that we've seen around town, would that possibly be tied in with?
If we recall,
No.
isn't the mannequins that one fellow?
Yes, I've seen the old man put a few of those up. Yes. He's got quite a back on him, actually.
Because we carry all those mannequins, and that is a rather low-tech solution for a problem.
Yes, it's honestly quite odd. The houses are empty. Then he puts those in. He never puts them into houses that have people in them. It's only afterwards.
Ah, that's good to know.
Then he fits them up with all those traps and all. I heard him hammering away in the building behind me. I suppose that had some of his handiwork.
Yeah, we're very acquainted with his handiwork.
Oh, but anyway, about the weather crests.
Oh yes.
He goes on for a bit talking about how apparently it's been passed around for a good few decades. Before he starts to rifle through his notes, flip through. You guys might try to sneak a peek, being scholars and nerds as you are, but it's all written in code. Let's get to it. Ah, yes, it was about. Now, this might not be an exact figure. Don't get at me. This is all different sources. But I did a little bit of study on the Weathercrest, and apparently the family just vanished around. It says here around the same time that Raxis became such a big deal. It had that war with Alchemia. Yeah, about 3 centuries ago.
I'll tap Morgan and ask him if he's got anything to drink.
There's just been this great nerd banter, and the two jocks don't know what the fuck. Because
Yeah,
Zarzul's
you
never
think
had to
that's
study. He prays and hopes it happens.
I've kind of just tuned it all out. I was like, oh, great, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of salty she wouldn't let me hit him again. I'm just hanging out with the owlbear because the owlbear is probably indifferent to all this shit too.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh, and I got my cat. Yeah, the cat.
Partway through the massive conversations they talk about it, one of the ghouls comes out and sits down at the table as well, listening.
Surprisingly enough, Rain at this point has barely noticed.
With his horrible yellow-nailed fingers, he does a little small wave at Zarzul before listening back in again.
Zarzul isn't completely happy with this.
Now you see, the Shadowfell has an emotional damage to it. It affects the spirit and the soul. It doesn't really affect the properties of magic, so this effect probably isn't linked to the Shadowfell, although maybe the darkness itself is. It could be that it suppresses the natural sort of racial powers. And he just continues to go on and on. You guys have lost an hour, by the way.
More well rested.
Oh no, for a lot of you were too busy mentally and the other were bored fucking soulless. Sorry about that, I got quite caught up.
He's gonna knock on the door and we're gonna yell, "Go away!" With
Sorry about that, I
the
got quite
bunny
carried
shows
away.
up. Not now. Yeah.
No, that was fascinating. Fascinating conversation.
I'm glad we've managed to move past the violence. It's been nice to talk to people who are a bit more interesting, because you don't care one saw, do you? And the ghoul just nods as he starts gnawing on his own finger. Like I said, they're civilized, but only just.
Say now, Mr. As I look at the ghoul.
Just looks at you.
You wouldn't happen to have seen something strange that might be causing this darkness during your time here, would you?
Nah. We was in the sewers.
Wait, the sewers?
Yeah.
How did you enter the sewers? I imagine the ghoul looks like a normal person size.
Yeah, he's normal person sized.
Yeah.
A few of the basements, they linked up. One of them had dug a hole, and then we just crawled on out. If you mean now we got in proper, like a mile or two up north, as place we were able to dig down, get in. Had this amazing smell to it, right tasty. And then we all just prattled along, and then we found ourselves out here, and it was dark, it was nice, people were scared, there were corpses around the place, it was a nice little bit.
Now, was this above the surface or in the sewers?
Hmm?
The amount of dead people, was that on the...
Oh no, that was in these buildings here.
You didn't see any down in the sewers?
Hang on. He bashes open the door, goes in. You can hear some loud exchange between the two of them. And a sort of rasping tongue. Actually, Rain would understand it, because they're speaking Abyssal.
Oh.
And one's accusing, were you holding out on me? Says, no. No, wasn't doing anything like that there, no. Alright, sorry. Mustn't fight. It's getting harder with the passing years, isn't it? Yeah, but you still move on. And he comes back out again. No, we didn't see anything down the sewers. I mean, not humans, but you know. There's always dead rats.
So I take it there weren't any obstructions. It was pretty clear down there.
Oh, we had to do some crawling a bit of a way. And then there was this big chamber. It looked sort of dangerous, so we just shuffled down. We managed to squeeze it through. We're very flexible, you see. We were able to squeeze through one of the small little channels on the side and get through. Don't think you lot can manage it, even that little bony one.
Dangerous how?
Just had a feel about it, you know, like... Don't like to go out in the open.
Maybe it was one of those chambers like we went in when we were down in the sewers. If you recall, there was those huge creatures that like to throw you around with their tentacles.
Oh, was it, one of those?
Again.
I can't say it. It was like a big meatball, 3 legs. Lots of teeth.
That was the description, correct?
Yeah.
It was more tentacly. I think I heard.
Oh, whereabouts did you see that?
It was up down in the sewers. It was in a very large open area. Lots of deep water.
He looks very depressed. You start to talk about this. Aww. We're gonna have slim pickings and we'll have to move along.
Well, we killed them for you.
Oh. Okay, that's better then. Thanks. He's saying this while he's got, you know, all those horrible misshapen teeth that are meant for rending persons.
Mm-hmm.
The horrible, just full white eye with a little bit of bloodshot around it. And the ashen skin. Sort of gangly. And then the necromancer John. So, I guess friends?
I'd say we certainly have overlapping interests and hobbies.
Acquaintances, fine. Study partners, yes. If you found it. By the way, not to sound ungrateful, but I did share some fun tales there in study. Anything of your own you want to share?
I would love to make a tale about how we managed to defeat the ogre outside and lift this horrible curse.
I don't want tales of valor. I was talking about something, you know, intellectually interesting. Have you seen any strange magical phenomena?
Well, that was the big skeletal ball.
Well, I suppose he might be a little bit more interested in brain kind of pause.
Ixnay on book say.
No, I wasn't going to say anything about that.
I think you kind of have, if this is out loud.
Then he would have said that, and not me.
Yeah, but by me saying Ixnay on book say. I was just kind of stopping you on revealing any more details about that book.
Oh no, I wasn't going to talk about the book at all.
Book?
No,
Yes,
it's no
just the-
bother.
Just the book we managed to
Dead
pillage from a necromancer elf.
Boyfriend.
Oh god.
I rub my temples.
Stupid elf.
Yes.
Do you have it on you?
Stupid elf.
I haven't
No.
dated an elf. I dated a fucking ponce. There's a difference. One looks like that, and I point at Cornelius.
No, the book is not here.
I'm sorry if I'm treading on any toes here. I didn't want to become a tense situation again
Oh
because
shit! I just realized something. Completely out of character, but I just realized something.
yeah.
Yes?
I had the book with me
Oh my god, why?
because she's not gonna leave it. The problem was it was in the pouch on the back of the in my robe, so I would have had to move it somewhere.
Question.
Unless
This
I've
is-
been carrying it around the whole time.
It would have been in your backpack.
Okay.
Does that mean the magic locks on it are broken?
Oh fuck! Did Zarathul say this out loud?
No. Nuzzle is that intelligent, but let's see if anyone else is.
Can we get a chance to roll something to realize this is a possibility?
Because it's such a blatantly stupid thing to just realize, you get intelligence roll with disadvantage.
That's fair.
Okay, hold on.
Just rain.
Damn it!
It doesn't come to you if you don't think about that. Because you're still thinking it's locked with keys.
Well, no, I'm not worried about the key lock. That's not hard to break at
It's
all.
the glyphs.
Yeah, the glyphs is the only thing I'm worried about.
But it just doesn't come to you.
So close.
Why don't you say it out loud?
No, he is busy inspecting his little baggie. So the question... Oh, that's a shame. I would have liked to pour over. It's always fun to see a...
Oh no, we can't get into it. It's alright.
Oh, I'll use that word of yours. The acquaintances. To see the work of an acquaintance.
No. If anything, I'm more in the realm of the whole eternal life deal.
Oh, there's no point in that.
Well, there. Don't get me wrong. I know it's very much possible to remain bound to your body for all of eternity. You just might not want to be the person that happens to. There was an incident.
Does he know? Oh, okay, you're about to go more into it because I was about to say the necromancer notifies the horrified look on the Cornelius' face.
Actually, what you're seeing on his face is... The moment she starts telling any details, he's starting to show recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about that! It was talked about quite a lot in certain circles.
I wager so, particularly as there was the, and I do happen to probably share this opinion, even grinding him down to little tiny bits and burning the ashes, I don't really think he ever got fully detached.
Fascinating.
Incredibly horrifying, but at the same time, vaguely fascinating, yeah.
Once again, he raises his hands. Now, I'm just going to point out here, I have no preference for that sort of thing. That is not an experiment I would further along. That actually doesn't appeal to me. Just going to put that out there, despite necromancy and controlling undead. I don't like that idea. But that's fascinating. You were personally involved in that.
Yes, I was, unfortunately.
There must have been so much he had so many variables to deal with. Fascinating.
Well, I have a feeling that's probably why it went wrong like that.
He is spilling over with specific questions on it.
Oh my god.
He is
Well,
wanting to talk all
yeah.
about your whole experience of this here.
Unfortunately, at that point, I was more of the researcher, and less about the doer.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just curious on the process involved.
Rain. just a little suggestion here. I do believe that our acquaintance here talked about compensation for making it out. I think you have it now.
Oh.
You have a point.
I was hoping more something short term so I could just simply slink off into the darkness.
No, that's another thing we were not going to be doing. At least if we're going to do compensation, I wouldn't mind doing a little bit before and a little bit after, but there's going to be a large part after. Otherwise, yeah, you slink off.
Well, I mean, I'll help you out. That's worth slinking off.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, I'd also like to point out there might be some sort of discussion we might want to have later. There are overlapping interests.
Oh? He gives a little flick of his hair to get it back over his shoulders. It's not the time or the place, and he's given me quite...
Not that kind of interest.
Oh, well, I didn't think so anyway. I'm a little bit past it. He looks very past it. So, yes, I'll throw in my staff. So long as you're not just going to try and fight him on the street, because I've seen that Dragonborn attempted, and it's been entertaining, but not productive.
Yeah, so far we have at least found out that we need to at least isolate him. It's somewhere he can't just jump out of.
'Cause the main issue is that invisibility, because we don't get us wrong, we've fought them in the streets plenty.
I would have thought the issue was the regeneration. You know, nothing stops that.
Regeneration only break gets you so far.
Yeah, I'm more worried about trapping him in one location.
Oh, I'm just pointing out, it's not like a Trolls where you can stymie it with fire or acid. No, it just keeps going until you finally remove the head.
Well, yeah, that would be the overall goal.
Makes me wonder why the old man was bothering with poison. I guess maybe he just didn't have the right information.
What I'm thinking of is if we can get him in one place, because of course when he gets injured severely, he turns himself invisible and leaves so he can regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
The idea would be to get him somewhere trapped, where it's hard for him to escape. Mark it so the invisibility doesn't work, or isn't, functional. And then at that point, we can whittle him down enough to remove the regeneration from the equation entirely.
It's going to be a bit tricky. A lot of these buildings don't have very large rooms. So just trying to get into combat with him with all of this you're going to get in each other's way a great deal.
I'm more concerned about most of these buildings. If we get him in here, he's just going to burst his way out of the wall.
Oh yes, they're terrible for that. And plus, a lot of the buildings are so old and wooden, they're basically a tinderbox.
We figured that out already.
Oh, that was you!
I point at Cornelius. But that's when I flat out just point at him.
Well, I'm sure it was all for a good cause of survival.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, yes.
It worked
Alright.
very well, actually.
Was there any, collateral?
No.
No.
No. Oh, well. Maybe next time. I've heard there's some scrabbling about in the north building, so if you could ever aim one there, call it an intentional accident. I'd be appreciative.
That's not going to be in our group.
Oh, alright then, spoil sports.
Probably not the way you want to go down, buddy.
You're sounding like my wife. Oop.
I was supposed to say, what was that?
A little bit of an audio error.
Okay.
Everyone here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he intentionally getting raspier?
Yeah.
This isn't just the fucking Oni in disguise now, is it?
Oh, no. This isn't the necromancer. This is the ghoul talking to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was the necromancer. Okay.
No,
Because I
that's the
was-
cool.
Because for a moment it's like, why is he talking to us so threateningly? Okay, it was a ghoul talking. Okay. I understand now. Sorry, I thought it was the necromancer talking. I was like, that's a bit of a weird turn. He's to
Oh no, he's
like,
also
I'm
he's
like,
also giving a weird look at him. Like, not now. Come on, please.
Yeah, okay. Disregard what I said then.
So the main idea would be having to find a way to keep him. That's the biggest issue I'm seeing so far is just trying to nail him down so he doesn't go anywhere. Literally or figuratively, by the way.
Well, sadly, I can't offer the children. They're already been eaten, I'm afraid. I've only got one left now. Although a little bit of illusory bait might work.
True, that could get him into wherever we need him.
Like, you don't just
The
need to
main
be in
question-
a building. You could. Some of them do have a basement and storehouse, like some of those Although a building itself probably wouldn't as well, but. You probably have to act up a little. He does seem to prefer enjoyment over just an easy kill.
Oh yeah, he likes the theatrical fun of it. How did that little jingle go, Cornelius, about you?
Oh, you think I'm
But
gonna remember such diatribe? But he couldn't even make it rhyme in the end.
It doesn't matter. It was worth it.
Yes, it was also worth it when he reminded us to thank you for your applause of it afterward. I remember that
well,
part fondly.
He hasn't gotten to that part yet. I hope I haven't
Sure he
missed it.
doesn't. Because at this point, I'm not sure what's worse. Him trying to kill us or his poetry. At this point, I'm leaning towards getting killed rather than having to hear any more of it.
Spoil.
Well,
Yeah, you know. Well,
I don't know. You all just stop talking for a moment. I'm
Well,
kind of
we'll-
burned out a bit here. I just didn't get to. I haven't gotten to talks for so long, but it's my jaw needs a bit of a rest.
well, I guess we're going to have to try and figure out somewhere that's more suitable for a fight if we had to do that, or trying to figure out where the source of, well, all this is.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to have to figure out both. And depending on where the focus is, could be that both, whatever room that is, will serve both purposes.
Perhaps. Well, we should get going then.
Mm-hmm.
He extends his hand to you, Cornelius. Well, good luck out there.
I grudgingly take his hand.
His grip is weaker than yours.
You're a braver man than I, sir.
And he also extends it to Rain.
I take it and I shake it a little bit better. Well, I hope you have the rest of a pleasant day.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't think
and
it's going to be very pleasant here.
remember our deal? I will help out. I will make sure that thing dies. Hopefully. Well, I'll contribute to it. But just look away afterwards.
Very well.
And then maybe we'll meet in town at some point.
I think that would be a fantastic option.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that not your good lady calling you? The ghoul looks at him for a moment and shrugs and walks into the room. By the way, I'm perfectly fine with you offing these two. They're quite ghastly. So, don't worry about it if you come back here and I'm not here and they still are. They are a problem that can be solved easily. I won't have any issues.
All right, we'll make it a note.
Alright. Good hunting out there. Oh, you'll probably want to go back the way you came.
Yeah.
At that point, we go to take our leave.
Yep. He closes the door quietly behind, although you've got the lock on your side.
I guess we lock him back in.
Yeah,
Well, you did
that's weird.
Well, you do remember he did have a front door and all. It's just it leads to a street to the north.
Yeah. So I guess let's lock it back just so that there's that extra added layer of protection.
You're back out on the
Range.
street.
Rain shakes herself out.
What do you mean? Ugh? You seem to enjoy the conversation with him.
Well, he did talk about some very interesting things.
So where to now?
Suppose. Should we get back in touch with our Dragonborn friend and see if he has any idea with the new information where this focus might be?
I don't think he has any. To be honest, I think he would have spoken off if he saw something that was like weird, strange.
Well, more specifically, we're looking for a location that would be big enough for it.
It's
Yeah, but
possibly also a location that's hidden from us. As in that maybe not linked to our areas.
Well, maybe if we find the old man who's been dragging the.
For the sake of the campaign progressing, you can take it for granted that it'll be in this area.
Yeah.
Because if it's outside the area, the campaign is over. You guys aren't getting out.
And so the session ends.
My suggestion is if we find the old man, he might, since he lived here, he might actually know a bit more about the area and where we could do all this idea.
true, but we're gonna have to find it first. We might also just be able to find one of the basements that connects to the sewers.
Correct.
Though
I
it might
suppose
also
the-
just be filled with the creepy crawlies.
I suppose let's keep going, and if we can find the man, good. If not, then at least now we know if they have the mannequins and it's empty.
Hmm.
All right, we'll pick a door, or should we move somewhere else?
Let's move and try to find some place that doesn't have mannequins.
Lead the way.
Yeah, which way are you guys going? Because I need to reveal the fog of war to you.
So, have we gone up this way?
You've basically looked down it before.
Yeah. Actually, this is where we entered. Then we turned down at some point. Was this here we turned down? No, that can't be.
No. You guys went all the way
turned-
over here before coming down. Because you were following
Where-
Zarzul and Castalia.
Well, where did we teleport from?
Vague sense of recollection. You teleported from around here.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we got dropped off.
Yep. And you teleported, well, as you get your bearings a little bit, around about here.
Because what color roof are we supposed to be looking for?
Well, one of them was the green roofs. That's the one we found now.
Yeah,
what
that's
we're
the one
trying
you
to
found.
Yeah. But wasn't the old man in a colored roof too?
Nope.
Nope, he just said that he was down this direction we've been going.
Whereas the other people you met didn't even know where he was.
Yeah. Is this where the map ends, or
No, there's more. You can,
okay? We can try and go there, or
like, they put it in the respective, even though shouldn't really because of metagaming. Like, this is the entrance area down here. This is where you guys started.
Yeah, I just want to know that because we try and go this way and see if we can find something else.
So down this way.
See if there's any houses that look like they're of particular interest.
Particularly any place that doesn't have mannequins.
Well, pick a direction to go.
I'm letting you pick a direction because I've been picking directions all the time.
I vote this way. Let's go.
Okay. As you head down, you see the vegetable store and the building that no longer has a wall on the second floor.
Oh, good.
I
We made it
remember
back.
that.
Mhm.
Maybe we can collect some rotted vegetables.
I hold up my potato.
Yeah, we can collect more.
She has a bag full.
Is
Yeah.
Puffelsworth still hurt, or did the 6 HP put him over half?
No, it didn't put him over half.
Oh, okay.
Well, didn't the Puffles also rest?
Nope.
He's probably playing.
He's trying to have fun because there isn't any.
So,
So yeah, you're right back to the first sight of your confrontation with Vioni. Good times. Happy memories, eh, Malgern?
so if you come
Remember
on
that time
down
when you
this
were in a
way-
room and then you weren't?
I try not to think about it.
Remember when Pufflesworth almost got Rain killed?
Yep.
I mean, that's every session, though.
So heading down this way, do I see anything that doesn't, any place that doesn't have the man?
These places, whenever you peek through, they all have mannequins in them.
Yeah, I think now we're just retracing our steps. Like this part up here we haven't checked.
Oh, where was it up here?
Yeah.
All right, let's head back up over there then.
So we're heading back up.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure how well we actually searched, because we were in a hurry.
As you progress, you come into what is basically a little alley nook. A few more buildings facing inwards, though. And one of the largest, as you start to get closer, is this one here. It has a couple of floors, even a small little sort of tower prospect. It looks like one of the oldest buildings there. And you can see through most of the windows mannequins standing in them.
I'm investigating the area for traps.
23?
Search for
Yeah, there's
traps,
quite a
Toby?
few.
Hmm.
They all seem to be of a tripwire variety, though, so it's once you notice them, it's easy to step across.
Or particularly probably use Mage Hand to remove, because Pufflesworth.
There is quite a number of crossbow bolts going various directions, and a few scythe blades.
Okay. Here. I guess let's check out this, even though there's mannequins in there, but it looks different from the rest. There might actually be things in there.
All right. Well, I checked the door. See if there's anything there.
Well, since we're nearly at time anyway, I think we're going to leave off at this point before we start anything big.
Oh no.
Well, just in general, like, we don't want to start up another conversation or go through an explore segment when there's just not that
and
much
he
time
doesn't
left.
want to give anything away by saying it may or may not happen. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to be vague for purposes of enjoyment, but, you know, there could be any number of things that happen here, although it's a very obvious, notable building that was pointed out by the DM, so it's probably worth exploring.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, we've got maybe 15 minutes or less left, so...
Yeah.
That's fair.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine with me because I've been up since 6 a.m.
Yeah. Everyone looking okay for next week?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I should have less work next week, so should all be good.
Excellent.
No problems here.
Next week, once more.
Hold on, Raider. Are you? What about work?
What day is next week?
22nd. Put a question mark on
Yeah.
Raider.
I usually do.
Thanks, buddy.
And we're still down a botch. Bit of a shame. But yeah, we'll be back hopefully next week. If not, and probably Thursday will be another Boarside one-shot if I can polish that off. Or maybe I'll save it for the Friday if we're down another player. Till then, though, I'm going to hit the button that says stop streaming.